collectors in disguise. Children of Primus, collectors in disguise. Children of Primus, collectors in disguise. Children of Primus. Children of Primus.
And we are back. Frenzy Freestyle Sunday.
Oh, we're here.
Hey.
We are here. Teletran 2.
I like zoned out because of the technical stuff, and then I heard you guys say something like,
it allowed us to be online. And Mario says, hi again, guys. Welcome again, Mario.
Hello, Mario.
And
yeah, you gotta want it.
Teletran 2, this segment, for our main part of the segment, we're going to be tearing apart CBR articles.
There's something wrong.
Oh, no.
Because I'm on YouTube, and it is not running on YouTube.
Well,
it's going to be different. So it's either you...
Because all the destroyers are on this chat on YouTube, which is not running.
Oh, on which chat?
The CBR. Are CBR articles worth the read or just clickbait? That it's not a video that's running there. But there's already like 10 destroyers commenting in that feed.
Well, hopefully they jump over here. Because due to technical difficulties, so the URL that we produce
we're on now.
for the initial one, it's if it doesn't connect, it creates a new URL. So technically, we're in a whole. Technically, it's a third show, but everyone has the link to the second show. So eventually, they'll jump over here because when you go to the channel, it will show live, but it will show a different. Like the thumbnail will be different, everything will be different. So we'll have to fix that after the stream's ended. So for now, if the destroyer is out there and able to jump over, we've got questions for the destroyer.
I'm gonna post something.
Destroy Jack Frost.
We have post something in the chat telling over here.
There we go. We destroyers have returned.
We destroyers have returned. Welcome, destroyers.
Hooray for violence!
We're always watching and always destroying.
Here they come. Okay.
There we go. And which, Impactor is asking, who is the destroyer? Where are the destroyers from? Where have you destroyed? We have questions.
Yes. And what are the other streamers that you have appeared on the streams of?
And we sure appreciate every one of you coming.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. Cause all the destruction you want.
Gracias.
Come any time.
I just feel like doing a bit of detective work and being like, where else have you been?
So
where did you come from?
And how many destroyers out there are you? Like, is there like 50 of you, like a whole collective of destroyers, and you just take turns destroying channels? Which Mario says, also before the trailer for the Mario Galaxy movie was out, we've got another trailer for the new Masters of the Universe movie. Yes.
They did actually put the proper trailer out, not the one that I was talking about in our chat, where it's like, remember the 80s? I don't know. I'm giving it a lot of leeway because it's being directed by Travis Knight, who directed the Bumblebee movie. But I did think it was really interesting how... Look, when I sat in the theater once and I saw the trailer for Tron Ares without knowing it was Tron Ares, and I didn't know what it was, and I was sitting there going, "Oh my God, this looks like all the things I like." And Jess was next to me, and she leaned over, she was like, "Anthony, this was like all the stuff you like in a movie." And then 3/4 of the way through the trailer, they finally show us Jared Leto's face, and I'm just in the theater going. So this.
I've got it. I finally got it to play over here, and there's like a 1.5 second delay.
Yeah.
And so I'm hearing him live here, and I'm hearing the echo here, and it's like
confusing.
So the Masters of the Universe trailer, they don't show Skeletor until like 3/4 of the way through, the exact same way they didn't show Jared Leto in Tron Legacy 3/4 of the way through. And I guess, but this time we don't have to look at his face because it turns out it's a full CGI face replacement. He's just a Skeletor skull. We don't see Jared Leto at all,
Thank God.
and he also doesn't say anything. So in the trailer, so we don't know if it's going to sound like Jared Leto or whatever.
Right.
I would buy a ticket today if they were like, I would buy a ticket for this movie today if they were like, we listened to your feedback. We're just going to overdub all of his lines with Alan Oppenheimer. I'd be like, done, sold. It would be so easy to do. You can't see his face. It's CGI'd over, you know?
That's it.
They could do that. They do these things fast in movies, and it's a while until it comes out. They could do that if they wanted to, you know?
This is true. And so Trade has said they've destroyed JJ Prime's reviews and a few others we have destroyed.
Who are the others? I want to make a red string conspiracy board, you know?
Oh God.
Pathfinder is back.
Pathfinder is here. Also a Scooterway, a Special Agent Plunger Man.
I am the destroyer.
The only thing Scooter destroys is oil cans.
Crasher is also a destroyer.
Now
Your
that
mom's
Crasher
a
is a destroyer.
Mudflap is also a destroyer.
Oh, and that's animated Mudflap, so that's a deep pull because that's not the movie guy. That's the old Energon guy.
Nice. And Motormaster is also a destroyer. Motormaster, where are the other Stunticons? I have questions.
Yeah. How did you feel about your legacy toy being a shelf warmer? Because that's the animated one.
Oh,
Or, you know,
that was
there's
one of
some
my
people
favorite
that don't
toys
buy
last year.
those
I mean,
either.
2 years ago.
Wait, sorry, Magnus?
I said, and then there's some people that don't buy them at all.
Cough, Tor.
Animated Soundwave says, I am the destroyer.
And Mario.
You're not a real Soundwave.
G1 forever.
Yeah, I will say this. These destroyers are all specifically fans of Transformers Animated because most of their avatars are of the Transformers Animated versions of these characters.
Ooh, the destroyers giving themselves away. And Mario says there was the announcement of issue 31 of Skybound, and the comic, it's really good.
Yeah, I started a project in the new year because I was behind and I wanted to catch up, and I was like, you know what, these don't take too long. I'm just going to start over. So I've been reading minimum one issue a day, but I only started last week. I'm up to issue like 11 now, so I'm going to get there. And I'm reading it, and I'm like, oh right, this is really good. It just passed the Beachcomber story I always rant about on here.
You have not quite 3 issues of a comic to read. Oh, that's easy. I got a couple years of a dozen books to read.
Oh.
Yeah, but the thing is, once I get going, you fly through them because pictures are worth 1,000 words, but they take way less time than 1,000 words to read. Even if I'm taking the time to appreciate the art, which you should, because it's a lot of work and it deserves appreciation. But even so, I'm like, I flip through these way fast. Once you get going on these, it's just like fling, fling, fling.
We aerial bots are the destroyers. It's funny how
Sorry, it's we AREL bots are the destroyers.
Stunticons rule. Aerial bots drool.
Seacons. It's all about the Seacons and the protector bots.
You don't even know. The show ended before they could show up. If they showed up, they would have beat everybody easily, obviously.
Oh, I know.
I really hope that we get a good Protectabot since they're doing all these combiners right now.
Yeah, they're probably going to get to them eventually. They've done 3 out of the 4 Scramble City guys, so they should obviously be next.
Yeah, the Seacons, those are the ones that in the like the blue, the teals and purples and all those crazy colors.
The most 80s color scheme ever. The color scheme of cotton candy ice cream.
And then in Beast Wars second, there's a redeco of them that's mainly white, if I remember right. It's the same mold, just mainly white. King Neptune.
But because they were still G1, they're neon because they're kind of greenish, bluish and stuff, but it wasn't as... It's more subtle, so it wasn't as bright as, say, like the G2 color schemes where it was like that late 80s neon. like the Seacons had a really nice color scheme to them, so it was more of the darker tones of those colors.
Mhm.
Yeah, if they did updates of them, I wouldn't mind getting the King Neptune of it, just because that whole that Leo Convoy versus King Neptune fight, where it's a one bot versus a whole combiner as a combiner.
Hmm.
Swindle, I tell you right now, baby, I'm a slut, man. My prices are
Oh,
cheap. Bring it on. Bring it on. You can buy all you want.
You know what? The destroyer, you're gonna have to. The destroyer is going to need a very good checkbook, because first to buy out all of us, and to buy out Magnus,
oh
and
God.
to buy out Toy Warp, because he also says that no, I am the destroyer, and
The destroyer of checkbooks.
the destroyer. Ooh, checkbooks are bouncing. Toy Warp's gonna have to answer about that one. Speaking of collections, because I know Magnus has the multiple Unicrons that just devours collections, and Toy Warp has the vintage collections as well. But one of our previous guests upgraded internet connection, new camera. We tested it out from a second largest collection in Australia. He's going to be joining us on February 8th.
The big angry
Oh.
Trev.
The big angry Trev.
Love
So,
him. Love him.
oh, he loves hanging out with us, so he can't wait to come back.
Have we had him more than the one time?
Yeah, he's
We-
been here twice.
He's been here
Okay.
twice.
Because the
Maybe I
first
was
time I
sick
was
the
telling him
second
about the
time.
wedding, and I sent him all the info. He didn't
Mhm.
make it, but of course,
Yeah,
all that
I wasn't here the
crazy
first
stuff
time. I
about
remember
trying to
that.
fly to the United States would have been woo.
Yeah. Let's see. I have $22 billion in both American money and cyber credits.
No credit.
Let's see.
No credit, maybe.
Yeah, no.
No, in God
Cash
we
on-
trust. All others pay cash.
Yeah, we don't
Yeah,
know what.
well, he did say he has American currency somehow. So
Yeah, which currency are we speaking here, and what does Cybertronian credits convert to in U.S. funds?
I also accept 24 karat gold and diamonds.
yeah, realistically, an alien civilization would probably have to use stuff like that to barter with us, because we're like, your currency isn't backed by anything on Earth. You got to give us raw materials.
Yeah. So we
We're
also
introducing the barter system again.
exactly.
I would sell some of this for like a Star Trek level replicator.
Yeah.
Mm,
Never have to buy groceries or gas again.
it's worth it.
I was like, I bet if they gave me some alien money, the fact that it's alien money would make it worth more on Earth than it is to the alien money, because it's like, it's alien money, guys.
See, I was just gonna ask for
It'd be like
some,
a Bitcoin.
some adamantium, a few other raw materials, and just experiment with them.
Could you imagine knowing what you know now when Bitcoin dropped?
You can't think about those words. You go insane.
I had 100 of them. And Pete had like 1,000. My tech guy, I forget what we bought something online and we got them, and he bought more computer stuff than I did, and he ended up with like 1,000 of them. And I got rid of mine immediately. I was like, this is not a real thing. This is not a real thing. And I don't know, I got like a printer or something. Well, he bought like motherboards and stuff like that to build his computers. But yeah, if we'd have held on to those,
Oh, we would
uh,
we
bleh.
would be streaming on YouTube. We would have owned YouTube.
yeah, we
Yeah.
would have our own place,
Yes.
I remember reading an
and there
article.
would be no snow.
One of the first successful Bitcoin transaction was somebody used it to buy a pizza as like a proof of concept that it worked, and people did the math and were like, if you held on to the Bitcoin you used to pay for that pizza, you'd be like a zillionaire now.
Exactly. Let's see. Swindle says I could sell you a con that transforms into the Star Trek ship.
Well, good. They haven't made one of those yet, so by all means.
Of course, it would be Swindle that would be arranging that deal.
Hmm.
Either him or Smokescreen.
Or
I,
between
I
Swindle,
honestly
Smokescreen,
think that,
and
that
Octane.
is an episode that they missed out on. Swindle and Smokescreen get together to see who could make the biggest and we'll throw
Yeah.
Octane in there as well.
Yes.
Well,
And
one of those episodes of a show, and I've seen different shows do this, where there's like a multi-layer con that they're both trying to pull on each other, and nobody's sure which one is real. You know the type of story.
mhm,
or or they're the hidden contact to the other one, and it's a
Yeah,
con. It's a
yep.
con on both sides.
yeah,
Like
And,
that, and they're like, "Oh man, he just keeps bidding it up." And look at this guy, man. He's adding this.
and you know which two characters would have to show up? Galvatron and Triptychon, because somehow Triptychon would always get stolen and just traded off in some sort, and Galvatron would just lose it on everyone.
somehow Triptychon winds up being sold as part of the deal.
Exactly, always. So now before we jump into some CBR articles, let me see if I can bring it up on the screen.
Oh,
And
I want to bring up one thing too. Go ahead with yours. I gotta find them again.
all right, and there we go. So Action Figure Comic Con happening January 31st, which is next week Saturday. And myself and possibly Mr. O. I know his work schedule, we're not sure at the moment, but I know I will be there, and we will be live streaming from the event. And we're going to be interviewing anyone and everyone and just having fun as we do, just like at TFCon. So Action Figure Comic Con happening this Saturday at the Japanese Canadian Culture Arts Center. And get your tickets from Action Figure Comic Con.com. Get your figures. Get your tickets. Come down and have fun for the day, and hang out with us as we're going to be live streaming from there.
Now, don't bring this up yet. Don't bring this one up yet.
Okay.
So, we were talking about the New Age. The New Age is the one that brought out those new Seekers that I ordered, and the names of them.
Yes, I remember that.
And this is the newest one that dropped. It's not a Seeker. But yeah, now you can bring it up.
Oh, okay.
Why do I feel like instead of counting sheep, Mr. Magnus names off seekers by this company?
So
instead?
this is New Age H71Y Dick Tiger Tracks.
Yeah. Oh wait, I gotta see if I can find one here, because they announced the G2 colors, like the Toxitron version of that, and it had an even funnier name.
See, you'd have to really It's just too bad we don't have like a Marvel style movie cartoon and stuff, because you just introduce this character and he'd be like, and it's like, who's that character? I am Dick.
This is Dick Tracks.
Dick Tracks. Jeez.
I can't believe it.
I
can't
all
make
the other
this shit up.
characters. all
Does
the
he
other
paint his
characters,
own tiger tracks with his dick?
Like
Yes.
That's where the name comes from.
could not take him serious whatsoever.
Yeah. So here I got one to share too, because they had also announced the Toxitron version of this color scheme. Like the side swipe with the sunset on his chest. Dick Sunset.
Dick Sunset. Yeah.
Who names these guys?
That's what it looks like. Which, it's a lovely set of colors. It's just that name though.
Oh yeah. Yep. He's on this page too.
Yeah, and
It's called Dick Sideswipe on this page.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that the actual toy doesn't have Sideswipe or Tiger Track or whatever written on them, because they never use the real names because they don't want to, because of copyright, right?
Right. Oh boy. Swindle says, I could sell you on Triptychon. And Toy Warp says, for about $2,000.
That's right.
Oh, for
right.
a working Triptychon, that's a deal.
Let's see. Mario says, wow, that would be interesting to see, and it would probably be like when you stream from other TF cons and other conventions. And yes, that's a exactly what it's gonna be, and oh boy, here we go. So hello, I am Autobot Dick Tracks, and I am the Destroyer.
Mm.
I mean, we just love the Destroyer just hanging out with us. That's
Mhm.
and the
Yeah,
sunrise. Yep,
that sure is what it's called.
that is what it is called.
And that's a good transition into the CBR thing because the CBR article, the first one that we referenced, was about that.
That is correct. Actually, let me see. Which one would it be? It's not the old Transformers comics. Uh, oh, there we go. I think it may be this one. Which, CBR, just their classic. Actually, no, it's not that one. Well, you know what? We will find it eventually, but let's jump to this one while we have it.
There we
Oh,
go.
the dicks!
There we go.
You get a dick, you get a dick. Oh, we all get a dick.
Yeah, so the important thing about Two Forgotten Transformers Decepticons roll out with a new look after 40 years. So, another one of these articles, which was the one I initially sent to you, Spin, I became aware of this because a Discord server that I'm in found it and posted it and talked about it. Here's the problem with these articles.
Yes, here we go.
This is
Here we
about
go.
a third party product, right? Like one of the unofficial ones. All of these articles, they seem to not realize this is like a unlicensed third party thing and keep treating these like they're reveals of new Transformers figures.
Oh, hold on, hold that thought for 1 second, because I should have done the lead in.
Now that I explain why we were doing that, it makes sense. Like
Yes.
two forgotten Transformers Decepticons roll out with a new look after 40 years. Uh, yeah, in third party unlicensed format, so they're not technically Transformers Decepticons, right?
And then it's funny the characters that they called and saying that they're forgotten, and I'm like, exactly as you're saying, it's in terms of that, but these are not forgotten characters.
Yeah. It says like the opening of the article, Doctor Wu is constantly pumping out toys based on Hasbro and Takara's Transformers, one of the newest toys made by the third party company. Like they don't seem to get that these aren't legitimate.
No, not one bit.
I I feel like and because I was having some discussion about it at the time in this Discord server when they posted this article. It's likely that so a person obviously wrote this, but it's probably somebody that's not super familiar with Transformers, and because they always refer to these things as third party, he just assumed they were official.
Yeah, because
Because
when I look at this character, I'm like, yeah, I remember this character for
yeah,
so
it's a battle trap.
exactly. It's funny. I had
um,
the Jeep. I didn't
Oh
have the
yeah, I've
helicopter
seen that.
with him as well, but somewhere along the line, I had the Jeep.
yeah, it's almost not their fault because it springs from the fact that the fandom and storefronts and everything have always used the term third party incorrectly when it comes to this stuff.
Hmm.
Um, Actual third party products would be like Super Sevens, Transformers reaction figures, or Blokies are third party technically.
Hmm.
The Yellow Park model kits are third party. It refers to anything that is officially licensed by Hasbro and Takara that's not made by them, right? Whereas these are companies making stuff based on them without the license, so they're not truly third party, right?
Hmm.
But people have been calling them that for years in Transformers collector spaces. So somebody like this sees them referring to that, assumes they're official, and then suddenly we get articles like this about meet the newest Transformers figures, even though they're like not really that.
And here's a few other things. And within two paragraphs, the first paragraph, which is drastically, just terribly written with misinformation, They're saying while Sideswipe wasn't a major Autobot in the classic cartoon first two seasons, he's one of the more notable ones from the era and seemingly survived the events of Transformers the movie. So I'm like,
I
yeah,
I
it's
kind of get
not
that.
technically incorrect. It's just told very strangely. Uh, Again, I think it's this guy just is not like is an outsider trying to sort of parse this stuff.
well, very outsider. Because I mean, the
Yeah,
fact of I mean, after Transformers the movie, Sideswipe just kind of disappears along with everyone
yeah.
else.
He seemingly survived because we just didn't see him die, but he didn't have any more appearances on the show. I don't think.
But to say he wasn't a major Autobot in the first two seasons, like everyone knows Sideswipe, and he was
Yeah.
one of the major Autobots in the first two seasons.
Well, people mostly know he didn't really have a lot to do on the show. People mostly know him because of his Lambo alt mode was an
Right.
iconic '80s car, so he's sort of overrepresented because of that.
Now, here's a funny thing. So, in the one paragraph where it's like, well, Sideswipe wasn't a major Autobot, the paragraph following right under, while Sideswipe might be fairly recognizable. And I'm like, so didn't you just say he wasn't, we kind of don't know who this guy is?
Well, he's recognizable because he's an iconic '80s vehicle, basically.
Exactly. And then, yeah, and then they also mention Ransack, and I'm guessing, again, if you're not familiar with the deluxe Insecticons, then you'd have no
Oh,
idea who this character is and think it's just something that just came out of thin air.
Subscribe to our newsletter for Transformers toy insights,
No, subscribe to
much like
Children of
these ones.
Primus.
Yeah, we they merely adopted the Transformers. We were born into them, molded by them.
They're
I didn't see a third party figure until I was a man.
pretty bad.
Like, yeah, like they're not bad. They're good looking figures. New Age makes fun things. They're just this guy thinks they're real thing. They're official products.
Yes. Yeah. No, the products are good. Yeah, just the CBR is just terrible at.
incompetent.
He said that he wasn't uh, a mainstream Autobot,
Hmm.
and I said the same thing. He's known because of the fact that he was Lamborghini Countach.
Hmm.
But out of the 98 episodes, he was in 65 of them.
Really?
I just Googled it.
I could
Huh.
see that.
So, I mean, that's better than half. Hell, it's three quarters.
That is
Yeah.
3/4 of
I mean, a lot of those were probably him standing around in the background in a crowd shot, but which to be, but that it does count.
Now if they said if they referred to skids, I'd be like,
Hmm.
okay, that's one that many people didn't just completely forgot about, but not Sunstreaker and Sideswipe.
Let me just Google something real quick. New Age skids. I just want to see if they ever made one.
Skids only appeared in 2 episodes.
That is correct.
No, they did not. New Age has not made a skids yet.
Yet.
Well, I'm sure they will eventually. Something
Yes.
I've mentioned before is it's thought that the reason Skids wasn't on the cartoon at all was because his toy was actually a late 1984 edition, and by the second season they were already promoting 1985 stuff. So they were just like, it doesn't matter too much. Don't worry about him.
Right.
His toy, his original G1 toy, he was built like an ape. His arms like hung down past his knees.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was one of
Skids
the
is
original ones that I had.
yeah, Skids is another one that was popular in Japan because the Honda City Turbo is a popular car over there. So
Yes.
it's much like Sideswipe. He got reissued like 3 times in like all the 21st century because of it, like the G1 toy. This is the same thing. The original Transformers Ultra Magnus design gets new first look prototype reveal. First revealed earlier this year, one of Magic Square's newest prototype toys is the latest action figure for Ultra Magnus. Now fans have a closer look at how the finalized version of the Transformers hero will look when it's ready to transform and roll out. Yeah, again, they're treating this like this is official. This is a magic square. This is an unofficial one. At least they have the proper name, but they also call him Legend Scale Ultra Magnus there.
Well, the one part, because I think this article came out about a month or two ago.
Yeah.
And let me see. There we go. So all the way down in the article where they're like, unlike the classic toy and similar to animation model, this cap doesn't transform into a separate Optimus Prime look-alike robot. Now, I remember when they were posting this article online everywhere, again, it's that clickbait type of let's create everyone to argue and say, well, I think they listed the article as the Optimus Prime lookalike that they're releasing, and everyone's like, well, that's not Optimus Prime, that's Ultra Magnus. And then so half the people are like, well, the 86 toy is the white version of Optimus Prime. But then if you make no reference of that, everyone's like, this guy is not Optimus Prime. So where are we going with this article?
Yeah, it's they're just intentional. That's like primo clickbait.
That's exactly what it was. Like only a few people caught that. I'm like, that's clickbait to get people on their website.
I almost admire the audacity of phrasing it that way.
So I mean, on top of the bad writing, the clickbait wasn't any better.
Hmm.
So let's go to another article.
Yeah, because there was one I posted because uh, this one was actually good because I have to give them their flowers. It is a different writer, but this is just him talking about all the weird things about Marvel G1. And as somebody that's read all of Marvel G1 and is kind of a fan of it, I'm like, yeah, they make some good points here. This is them talking about the Marvel US and Marvel UK thing that I've talked about. How like um, the the comic was monthly in America but weekly in the UK. So they wrote UK wrote all these stories in between the American issues
Right.
and sort of had their own continuity going. Yeah, these are all screenshots from Target 2006. Yeah, I've read all this. These are all good issues.
And you know what?
Transform.
For a while there was I would say, because I know, was it at least about a year ago or before that when we were tearing apart the CBR articles, and but then for a while I jump in, look at a few articles, and I'm like, okay, they actually seem to know what they're talking about. So it seemed they did have a writer that either did a proper fact check or actually knew the franchise. Whereas like the other stuff, it's exactly like the previous article. I'm like, you're either getting AI to write this stuff or you clearly have no idea about Transformers and you're writing an article
Yeah.
about it.
Then this one is like okay. Okay, number 9 here didn't make much sense, but this was the only one that like threw me. I was like, what are they talking about? Transformers Anatomy is based on the toys. Oh yeah, yeah. So that's a weird way of talking about how some of the early issues they didn't have the character models down pat yet. So some of the Transformers were drawn like really toy accurate. Like there's like a Ratchet and Ironhide without their heads in like issue 1.
Okay.
Yeah, and see, this is true. The Transformers evolved from gears, levers, and pulleys. They ignored this later because they brought in Primus and stuff. But like issue 1 of Marvel is like, yeah, the Transformers came from naturally occurring gears, levers, and pulleys that evolved into machine life. And everybody was like, that's stupid. And then they were like, no, no, actually, it was Primus. We lied. Forget issue 1. Yeah, and this is another one. The Transformers' ability to transform was not natural. Marvel issue 1 says like the Decepticons invented the ability to transform, and then the Autobots copied them, and then everybody could transform. They didn't start out being able to.
Yeah, and they did mention that in the original cartoon series as well.
Yeah, the Transformers needed fossil fuels for sustenance. See, again, this is early Marvel weirdness because they hadn't quite come up with the idea of energon yet. They just were like, we need energy in any form. So they were just taking like oil and gas and things and skipping the step where they turn them into energon cubes. This is a great one. The Matrix of Leadership was a series of intangible code. The Matrix first appeared in Marvel, and they called it the Creation Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't a physical object; it was a computer program that Optimus had in his head.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Shockwave stole Optimus Prime's head, like they did that toy out of, because he was like, I want the creation matrix code out of you so I can make more make the Constructicons and stuff.
I know if we have to remember that creation matrix was stored on a I think it was a 5.5 or 5.25 floppy disk from back then.
Yeah, no, that was Optimus Prime's brain. Part
Oh,
of
right.
the when they retconned the Matrix into being a physical object, they were like, "Oh, we left it with Optimus's body after he died, and we stored his personality there. So we got to find his original body." There was a whole arc about that.
Right, because the matrix was given to Buster during that time.
Yeah, Grimlock was not a mindless brute. Yeah, that's the most obvious one. We always know. Marvel Grimlock was like a proper. I mean, he was kind of a brute, but he was of normal intelligence, right?
Yes, yes.
Starscream was cannon fodder. Yeah, he didn't get a chance to do a lot of Starscreamy stuff in the comic because he died pretty early on, or didn't necessarily die, but was like put offline in stasis.
I mean, until it really focused around him through the midpoint of the series with him
Yeah,
and
like they brought him
Underbeast.
back in time to do like the. You know why that happened? It's because they made his classic Pretender toy, and they were like, "Oh, we need to resurrect Starscream because we got to promote his new figure."
Yep.
Just when they had the whole cosmically powered Starscream.
Yeah, like there's the joke in Transformers: The Basics where, like every G1 character, Chris McFeely will say, and then he was offlined by a cosmically empowered Starscream because it just happened to so many of them that any episode he does on anybody that was in G1, he'll say that at some point. You know,
And
I think there was I think he sold a T-shirt that said that on it at one point.
that's funny. And,
Yeah,
Ethan, welcome Ethan, says almost always clickbait, which referring to CVR, and I
yeah,
usually swear at myself after I read a little bit of the article because I fell for it. And I
yeah.
do not disagree.
Yeah. And I'd like to point out we are talking about the one exception that I found here. This one is actually accurate and kind of interesting. Yeah, this is the most interesting thing. Megatron was barely the Decepticons' leader. Uh, Shockwave, shoots him at the end of issue 4, and he doesn't get to be leader again for a very long time.
This is true.
Ratbat is, Scorponok is.
Was it?
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
he's
Go ahead.
not that important in Marvel.
Well, and when you think about it, neither was Optimus, because I mean he
Yeah,
was out for the majority of the series.
yeah. And then, of course, yeah, the Transformers lived in the Marvel Universe. Spider Man was in issue number 3. Now, to be fair, they did go, we're not going to talk about that anymore later on in the series as, like, the world developed and the stories changed. But yeah,
Hmm.
um, Spider Man showed up in issue 3, right in the middle of the Black Suit saga. Um, the Dinobots crashed in the Savage Land, which is a place from Marvel. That's where they scan their dinosaur modes.
Yes.
Uh, Nick Fury also appears in the panel of issue 3, and it's just like, there's something going on in Oregon, and he's like, should we look into that? And he's like, eh.
Now, there's another article that I know was kind of a clickbait and kind of falls into the exact same thing, and people were tearing it apart in the comments.
Yeah,
But just before that, I Am the Destroyer says read back the newest members to the Destroyers.
the newest members.
So again, another clickbait article.
Yeah.
A Forgotten Transformers rolls out with exclusive new release after 38 years, and when I saw the image, I'm like, okay, here we go. Where is CBR going with this one?
Oh, see, this is an actual third-party toy. This is a YOLO Park Ricochet figure that's being released as a BotCon exclusive. So, this is a real third-party one. And this is, of course, Ricochet, aka Stepper,
Mm-hmm.
the who tends to appear a lot because Jazz doesn't have a lot of repaints. So if they make a Jazz, they'll often do this guy because he exists and is a Jazz repaint. You know.
Yep.
Yeah, what was it? Power to Prime. I mean, Jazz got redecoed as him.
Yeah.
Was the last
There's this
official
whole
Ricochet.
subset of characters I think in Transformers that are like D-list characters, but they tend to get a lot of figures because they happen to be repaints of well-known guys.
Hmm.
So Hasbro or Takara will make one just because they already made like a Jazz or whatever, and they're like, well, I guess Ricochet gets another toy even though he's like a D-lister because we made a new Jazz.
Yep.
This is why. This is why my D-list favorite character Hubcap has so many third-party figures because he's a cliff jumper retool. So if a company does a cliff jumper, they're like, well, might as well turn him into a Hubcap.
You I Am Destroyer is requesting that we read back by 5 messages.
Is he talking about I am Galvatron, J1Z, I am the Destroyer, Tripticon, come to me?
I believe so. So I know we did mention that one. And Tripticon says, I am the Destroyer.
Oh, he's got a boat in his mouth.
I am Magic Square, and he's also the Destroyer.
So you're the third-party company. If you want to come in and sponsor an episode, then, or not, I'm phrasing that wrong. You want to come in for an episode? I'd love to talk to somebody from an actual third-party company.
Right.
Yeah,
You know, that
that would be a
and
great
Destroyer.
interview.
Yeah, that would be very good.
I feel like they'd like, for like legal purposes, they probably wouldn't actually want to because we couldn't. There's a between Hasbro and the third party guys. There's like this fiction of not talking about what they're doing, so everybody has plausible deniability.
Right.
It's like, how does it feel to make all these replicas of Transformers? And they'd be like, we don't know what you're talking about. We're making Dick Sunset over here that has no relation to Sideswipe. We just happen to make a robot. If that article is calling him a new version of Sideswipe, that's a mistake they made. Like, I feel like that's what they have to be like.
That's it. You know what? That just reminded me of that one meme that was going around for a while. I think, a video and someone turned it into a meme. Where it's like the one guy's yelling, it's like, look, that's Godzilla, and the second guy comes in and he's like,
Yeah.
oh, that's not actually Godzilla for copyright purposes.
It's from the one of the Austin Power movies. Was
Yeah,
it?
no, that's exactly what goes on with unofficial third party companies.
Yep.
It's like, look, it's Sideswipe. No, it's not actually Sideswipe because of copyright laws. It's Dick Sunset. We should
Yep.
treat it like it is Sideswipe. Hello, I am Autobot. Wait, I'm going to say this correctly. Hello, I am Autobot Sideswipe.
Someone say my name.
Yeah,
One.
you're missing a vowel in there. I bet YouTube won't let him put the vowel in there that he's missing, and that's why.
That is funny. That is why.
Use an exclamation point.
Yeah.
We know the implication of what he's saying. Him or her or it. I mean, it's they. It's a destroyer. We don't know what we don't know. So we've gone through some CBR articles. I know there's probably a ton more if we were to sit down and go through and tear apart. But
Yeah,
you know what?
I want to know more about that one about Marvel because, like I said, that was actually a well written one, unlike the rest of them.
Oh, here we go. And I am Autobot Dick Tracks. Hello, brother.
I sure knew it. What did they call? What did New Age call tracks? Let me look that up real quick. I'm sure they made one.
While you're looking that up, see if there's any other articles that we can tear apart or there is actually they actually did properly.
Dick Tracks was Tiger Tracks.
Yep.
He was the one that had like the tiger stripes on him.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, one thing I'll say about the Lambros that I like more about than the Dawsons or the Seekers is, at least with Toy Hacks and the Siege mode, they seem to did a good job at like letting you customize and individualize all those redecos of it. Red Tiger. There wasn't an orange one. white, 2 whites, clamp down. No, the clamp down's black.
Well, here's one. Let's go through this one and see if it is up to our standards or if it's going to leave us asking questions.
Optimus Prime's most important words in Transformers history haven't been topped. What are his most important words? Is it "one shall stand, one shall fall"? Because they never stop quoting that in everything, and a lot of fans that I talk to are sick of him saying that.
Freedom is the right of all sentient beings.
Yeah. Megatron must be stopped no matter the cost. Is that the most important words that he said?
You know,
I'm partial to that scene from IDW where he says there's 3 things you should ask of any government institution.
Yeah. What was it? Whom do you serve? In whose interests do you exercise your power? Who gives you your power? And could we stop you? Something like that. And it's funny because he's quoting Megatron in that scene because this is like in early Transformers 1 type, the war hasn't started time.
Well, there's another one of those funny videos that was going around some months ago, and someone redid the scene where Optimus transforms on his way to fight Megatron, but during the entire scene, all he keeps saying is Megatron must be stopped no matter the cost. So he says that, transforms into the truck, but the person who voiced it over is just like, all you hear is like, Megatron must be stopped no matter the cost. And then like you see him rolling, then he like rolls into the battle scene where he like flies up in the air, and then he says again, Megatron must be stopped no matter the cost. Then he lands down, starts shooting at Soundwave and everyone. Megatron must be stopped no matter the cost. And it's like it's quite funny. It's like you get lost into it. But let's see what they got going on here.
Yeah. The decision to kill Optimus Prime was disputed. It was a major creative decision and not one that was made unanimously. The risks were apparent to the filmmakers. I don't know. Hasbro severely underestimated the connection fans had with Optimus Prime. Yeah, that's true. The backlash was so intense. Yeah, they resurrected Optimus Prime, and that led to Duke not being killed in G.I. Joe. Yep, that's all true.
Okay.
This is all accurate so far. Transformers, the movie, was caught between controversy and cult status. What is this article even about? Because they're kind of rambling at this point, you know what I mean?
The fact that you've said that already, it's CBR. So,
The characters were intended to be in the next product line, but fan reaction halted the momentum of some of their new Transformers. The audience held Rodimus partially responsible for the death of Optimus. The movie also introduced one of the most hated Transformers of all time. This is just the reception section of a Wikipedia article about the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The song. Oh yeah, that's an interesting bit of trivia there. While the touch can conjure the scene where Optimus arrives in one's mind, the song wasn't originally intended for the film. According to Stan Bush, the song was meant to accompany the underrated Sylvester Stallone film Cobra. For reasons not known to Bush, the song didn't make the final cut for Cobra and was instead chosen to be used in the Transformers the movie.
And the rest is history.
Yeah. The death of Optimus Prime paid off in the end for Transformers. They're just glazing it up here about how important it was. I just read that paragraph. Just stripped away the innocence of the 80s. I don't know. I love this thing, but I don't like it when article writers try to assign it way too much importance.
Yeah, and so exactly where were they going with this article?
Yeah, that's kind of, like I said, it reads like the reception section. There's nothing in here that's incorrect. I'm just like, what is the purpose? What is your state? What are you trying to do here? I mean, the answer really is just fill time, fill words, just so they can post more stuff.
That's basically it, unfortunately.
You know what this reads like? This reads like if I was writing the introduction of a review of a figure from the movie, and would say a little bit of it at the start, like I do in all of my written reviews, and then just really lost the plot and just kept talking for way too long before getting into the actual thing. That's what
That
it reads like to me. You know what I mean?
that's exactly it. And
Yeah.
Unicron says, "I am here to eat Florida, Ohio, Toronto, and all other states of Canada and Indiana."
Oh, thank God I don't live in Canada.
I was just thinking that I don't live in Canada.
I imagine that's pronounced like Oklahoma there. Indiana.
And Galactus is also here to eat Florida,
Oh, yeah.
Ohio State, Toronto, and all other states of Canada and Indiana.
Yeah, so we're big chilling where we are because it's not.
We're safe.
Yeah, we're safe.
And I am the destroyer says, read the past 2 comments. Also, the C cons and protecto bots shall return into the stream next week.
I'm trying to remember, are the Protecto... No, is it the Technobots or the Protectobots that are your fave combiner spin?
Protectobots. And then
Yeah.
going to what Mr. Magnus said, it is interesting. Protectobots always gets overlooked in terms of like all these new figures, but there's like 6,000 Superions, 8,000 Minosaurs, a couple Computrons, 8 billion Devastators,
Yeah.
6,000 Motormasters, but Defensor
Well, they
just gets overlooked.
they got to be next
Defensor's got
because Legacy. Yeah, Legacy
I'm trying to
did.
think.
Legacy did the Stunticons, the Aerial Bots, and now they're just finishing up the Combaticons. So the Defensor has to be next because then they'll have hit all of the 1986 Scramble City guys.
Mhm. Oh no, what's on the screen?
Oh, this is that bit that people like
That I
his most
mentioned.
impactful words. The bit from IDW Comics where Orion Pax confronts the Senate because unlike Transformers One, it's not just one guy; it's a whole Senate, right?
Right.
And he says, let me read it out. My friend's name was Megatron, and he had 3 questions. 3 things he said you should demand to know of any powerful institution. Question 1, in whose interest do you exercise your power? You've said enough, come along. Question 2, to whom are you, just let me finish, to whom are you accountable? And three, how can we get rid of you?
Jeez.
And this is one of those panels that gets posted a lot whenever people talk about like good moments in the comics, basically.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it's funny that it's an Optimus line because like he directly says this is what Megatron wanted to say to you guys. So he's a little bit of he stole valor a little bit by it being attributed to him, right?
Well, I think now we're in trouble because Unicron says, "I ate Canada. Now Canada is next."
Canada is the appetizer for
Mm.
Canada.
There you go.
Kaneda is the character from Akora.
Oh, let's see. I have learned something new. Well, I wonder if Canada is like a country in between Canada and the U.S. with all the political nonsense that's happening at the moment. So
Mm.
Let's
I'm
not
just
even
saying,
get
okay.
started on that.
yeah, we're leaving that.
Bad
This
enough
is,
we got to deal with snow.
That's it. We're dealing with snow.
Yeah,
That's it.
At first,
Much less
they're like
Sub-Zero.
Unicron's coming for Canada. I'm like, oh, now I gotta go outside, deal with that.
Exactly.
Actually, since we have so much snow, maybe it'll just suck all the snow up, and that'll be it.
Well, come here right now. Go get an ice cream headache.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. Nice.
I'm trying to think. The last time I checked the snow, it was still daylight out, and it was my first. I think I have 3 steps going up to the porch. I sometimes sit out during summer streams. The first step was already mashed up with the height of the snow on the ground, and then the top step was matched with where the porch is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it's worse now, because like I said, that was when it was still daylight.
It's
I was around like 12 or 1.
it's getting there. Although mysteriously, in front of our place, one of the sidewalks, the snow has not touched it, which we find weird because it's building up everywhere else. And we looked out the window and like, how did the snow not fall on this one section of sidewalk? Like, okay.
The wind tunnel.
Yeah, that has to be it. That actually is it. 'Cause you put certain things out on that side of the house, and the wind will take it down the street. So we try to keep it on the other side. Well, I think as we're gonna round out this evening, Galactus. I think I've mentioned that. So Galactus ate Canada and is on his way to Canada.
Good, they can fight over it.
I
Just
was
get rid of the snow and we're cool.
I was just thinking that between Galactus and Unicron, who wins?
Good question.
Okay.
I think
That has the
Unicron,
people
though.
from Death Battle.
Yes.
Always remember. I always think about this. Stan Lee, back when he was alive, he always said when people asked him who would win if somebody fought somebody else, referring to his Marvel characters, but also in general, he said it was a dumb question because he was always like, the person who wins is the person the writer wants to win.
Right.
Exactly. This is true.
Yeah.
So in my snowed in day today, I'll do a couple of little reveals here. I painted a bunch of mechs.
Hmm.
So I hope we can get. So this is let me get my head out of the camera. How about that?
That is some
Megatron's
detail.
like, hey.
Yeah, it's going to focus on my dang shirt instead of.
Yep.
How about that? There we go.
That's good.
I'd say I like the pattern on it.
Mm-hmm.
This is just a swamp camo on a Savannah Master, and then an Atlas.
Ooh, nice. You can see the detail on that. Okay.
He almost looks friendly. Something about his design and his eyes.
Well, you see that yellow up there? That's a cockpit.
Oh.
That's how big these things are.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, in the game they're 30 meters tall. This is one of the biggest mechs in the game. It's called a Kodiak, and that little bitty dot right there above his chest is his cockpit.
We got the red one and the blue one. It just makes me think of Rock and Sock'em Robots.
Nice. How long did it take to paint that figure?
Well, I painted 37. These are just the ones that I grabbed quickly. I painted 37 of them today in 4 hours.
Oh. Let's do that math.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a minute or two per, and then
Okay.
picking up another one and going, yeah, let's do this combo on this one.
Yeah.
But I
Says
try and do them
not-
in lances and stars. The Inner Sphere running lances, which is 4 mechs per lance, and then the clans running 5 mechs per star.
37 divided by 4. 9.25 minutes per mech on average.
Yeah.
Okay.
You do 5 or 6 of them, and then just that coat, and then set them off to dry while you're doing some more, and then you'll pull those back down and do little details.
Okay. Well, it's funny when you mentioned that the mechs are 30 meters high. In recent, I'd say in their last week or two, in a lot of Facebook groups, somebody has made an image in terms of size comparisons of Voltron, Metroplex, and a handful of robots. Because it was always a debate in terms of, someone would say, well, Voltron versus this character, and someone realized, well, it's kind of an impossible battle because the height of Voltron to the height of that character, it's not even in the same scale.
No.
Voltron comes up to his toes. So it's if you properly scaled them, and someone drew this out, and it's like the size comparisons actually made more sense in this image than what people were kind of portraying years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And hello there. Is said Galactus will eat the snow and Unicron will eat Canada.
I suggest
point-
These
using.
things sort of go together.
Yeah, I would say use a little bit of vanilla and some sugar and turn that into vanilla ice cream and
Mhm.
There you go.
Yeah.
Just
So
avoid
bring
any
some
yellow
cherry
snow.
syrup and make it a snow cone.
Yeah,
there you go.
Strawberry sauce, a little caramel, make it into like a little sundae. Well, the Destroyer has hung out with us all evening, so I hope the Destroyer will be back next week. Cause I know next week we will have another stream. I don't know what the topic is yet, but on the 31st we will be live at the Action Figure Comic Con that's happening at the Japanese Cultural Arts Center. Swindle says I also bought Unicron. So please come back next week and tell us how you arranged that sale and how that played out.
I bought him. I bought him 3 times, man. I mean, you're slacking.
You're slacking.
Yeah.
You know, and,
I was like, oh, you went in on the HasLab like so many other people did.
exactly. You know, I've got a Unicron over here too. And Big Angry Trev, we will have him on February 8th. So if hopefully it all lines up, because I know with his work, he was saying at the moment he's 100% good to go. But you know, with all of us, sometimes work does get in the way. So, but at the moment, February 8th, Big Angry Trev is going to be back with us, and then we'll get to even get a clearer picture of his collection.
Mhm.
And Swindle is directing this right at Mr. Magnus and says, "I'm talking the real thing here, Bill."
Doesn't
I
get
hope,
much more real
I
than
hope you
that.
got it for a scrap price because he's just a pile of trash right now.
Yeah,
Most of them's hanging out on the planet of junk.
that's it. Like he's just a big head circling around as a satellite. So, okay. Well, on that note, I say we will end the stream for the evening. So I thank you guys for hanging out as usual. And instead of listening to some music there. And to everyone in the comments, so please like and subscribe to the channel, as we always say. And also to all of our affiliates, our other collectors in disguise, Toy Warp Vintage Reviews, Impactor Productions, and Swindle says, I rebuilt him.
Oh shit.
Oh dear. So at the end of every stream, we say, till all are one.
Till all
So
are one.
One. You'll soon be done.
Mm-hmm.
We now return you to the Children of Primus.